Hello, dear diary and my fellow citizens. Again, I'm going to talk in a fake British accent, better than my own speaking voice. I'm wearing this hat to cover up my bad hair day, etc. Fuck you. Let's move on. Now, before you ever heard of me, you knew that being a genius sucks. You saw as a boy or a girl that they would pick on the smart kids. We don't live in a society that attacks the dumb. We live in a society that celebrates the dumb and attacks the smart. Now, tortured genius isn't some mythical beast. It's exactly what it sounds like. If you're smart, you live in a world run by fucktards and run into the ground by fucktards. I'm going to give you a quick example of why it's horrendous being smarter than everybody else. Horrendous, agonizing, debilitating. Example, if I'm accurate, then no human being can understand anything I say. So it's like I have to be inaccurate to communicate with these fucking savages. Example, if I'm accurate and I say Bloomberg stole trillions of dollars from the taxpayers of New York City, trillions, the idiots, and I'm not talking about the dumb, I'm talking about the middle dumb, New York Times reporters, educated people, etc. These are super morons, but in some ways they're not as dumb as the dum-dums. But they're still super dumb. The educated fucktards will say, trillions? That's idiotic. You're exaggerating. Bloomberg never even got near $1 trillion. As mayor, the budget was, when he came in, the budget was, what, $44 billion a year, which was almost all waste and crooked. And he expanded it to $75 billion. From $44 billion to $75 billion. Slightly large increase, considering there had been 107 mayors before him. It's a pretty huge chunk. Him and Giuliani raised both fiscal conservatives. The liberal papers called them both fiscal conservatives, and the right-wing papers called them both fiscal conservatives. Now, when the New York Post and the New York Times agree on everything, you should start to get suspicious. But, so you see, the people who know more about the numbers, they're going to be the ones who say, it's not trillions, you fucking asshole. It's billions, maybe even tens of billions, possibly at the most craziest, hundreds of billions. I'm the only intelligent person in New York City. Watch this. Now, anybody with a hint of a brain knows it's trillions. The argument that Bloomberg, in his 12 years as mayor, didn't even come close to $1 trillion. He maybe got to spend $600 million, whatever. Do the math. For his budgets each year. But I shut down these fake pseudo-educated retards in one sentence. Or many, but I'll give you just one sentence. Watch this. Hey, fucktards. How long before New York City pays off the debt of Mike Bloomberg? Now, the fake smart people go, let me think, New York City may never, ever, ever pay off that debt. Of course, first of all, keep in mind that none of these fake educated people know that Mike Bloomberg did any borrowing. It wasn't in the New York Times. For 12 years, the New York Times left that out. For 12 years, the New York Post left that out. New York One left it out. Time Magazine left it out. Everyone left it out that Giuliani and Bloomberg were doing fuckloads of secret borrowing on your credit card. You know, of course, why all media kept it secret, because a lot of that money went to the New York Times, Rupert Murdoch, Mort Zuckerman, Sulzberger's, all of them, 1010 Wins, Time Warner, they all got a lot of that stolen money. So they'd be insane to report it. Just like they'd be insane to tell you the truth about almost anything, because they are complicit in all of the crimes of the Republican Party and all of the crimes of the Democratic Party. Again, there's only one enemy on earth. It's a journalist. It's a journalist. If you simply killed every lying journalist on the planet, the 1% is out of business. It's over. If you just went out with your friends and killed all the journalists, It's over. They can't trick the American people without lying journalists. Hitler can't do shit without an army. He's one asshole on the side of the street going, "Fuck the Jews! Germany, the Versailles Treaty is terrible!" He's one asshole on a sidewalk screaming his head off. Unless millions of journalists, i.e. soldiers, help him. And we agree. Have you ever heard this? Watch this. I'm going to show you how obvious it is that journalists are the #1 villains in the history of mankind. Watch how easy this is. Tell me you've never heard this quote. The pen is mightier than... Thank you. You knew for thousands of years that it was journalists, or whatever variation of journalists they had 1,000 years ago. Well, I think they even had journalists 1,000 years ago. You knew from the moment you were born that journalists were the greatest villains. You knew that one journalist is infinitely more dangerous than Adolf Hitler. Because the pen is mightier than what? One journalist can kill a lot more people than 50 giant armies can. With great power comes great responsibility. If you journalists can't tell the truth, that's cool. But no one put a gun to your head and forced you to be a lying journalist who betrayed all your friends and family to help the 1% rob us all blind. Do you see? Again, right there, if that quote exists, the pen is mightier than the sword, then you have a right to self-defense and you can murder every single journalist on the planet today. If that quote exists. This is why the newspapers all smear me. They all say, when people hear Christopher speak, they realize he makes a lot of fucking sense. He's not bullshitting people. He tells you the truth, and he's telling people our secrets. That's why the New York Times tried to kill me in Rikers Island. That's why the New York Post tried to kill me in Rikers Island. That's why they killed lots of other people in Rikers Island. That's why the New York Times and the New York Post, all of them, covered up. Let me give you a funny example of how crooked the media is. One day, was it last year? It might have been the year before, 2014. It's 2015 right now. The editorial in the New York Daily News, written by a Bloomberg crony, but they never disclosed that, which is, of course, illegal, Arthur Brown. You can't have an anonymous editorial written about how great Bloomberg is every day without disclosing that the author is a former employee of Mike Bloomberg and a pal of Mike Bloomberg. That's super illegal, but you zombies just sit there and think, "Oh, I wish we could fix shit. I wish shit wasn't so bad." The pen is mightier than the sword. Even the Nazis said that. Before they had an army, they bought a newspaper. Look it up. Before they stole their first election, they bought a newspaper. What's one of the first things Bloomberg did before he took over New York City? Started a media outlet. You're going to start to notice some patterns here. I look like some fucking wizard asshole. Sorry. Now they could say, whoa, he's saying terroristic threats, that everybody has a right to murder murderers. That's not a terrorist threat. It's called self-defense. Every mature adult agrees we all have a right to self-defense. You journalists murdered us first. You murdered our cities. You murdered our lives. Even worse, at least Hitler put people out of their misery. Most people would much rather be dead after 2 minutes of suffering in a fucking gas chamber than 80 years of agony. Spiritual death, emotional death, psychological death. We all die every day. And I don't mean we're decaying. I mean life is a series of fucking agonies. It's like being stabbed in the heart every day. What the Nazis did, murdering people, is infinitely better and more humane. You see it. What do we do with a wounded animal? We put it out of its misery. Murder is humane, says all adults on earth. Murder is humane. I argue that I don't think you should murder journalists. I personally think we should take all the journalists into woods and sheds in the woods and just torture them every minute of every day and make sure they never die. We'll keep them alive till they're 150. But they should be screaming in agony and pain like the billions of people who they tortured every single day of every week. Again, there can be no fascism. There can be no totalitarianism. There can be no evil in the world of any stripe without lying journalists. The pen is mightier than the sword. But I think I've digressed completely. I was making a point that Bloomberg... Now, these assholes, the New York Times or whatever, who think they're educated, think they're smart, think they're literate, when you ask them, how much you said Bloomberg didn't even spend $1 trillion. Okay. How much debt did he accrue? And they'll go, how much debt did he accrue? We know the Republicans tripled the national debt under Reagan. We know that. They tripled the debt. No one else has ever come close to the Republicans as far as liberal spending goes. But the liberals just continue to let the right-wingers lie about everything every minute of every day because the left wing is as dumb as the right wing is dishonest. Hey. New York City can never, ever, ever, if it exists for 50 billion more years, and it can't, but if it does, it still cannot pay off the debt. Giuliani's debt grows every second. It grows exponentially every second because the interest payment's just on the debt. The amount of money Bloomberg secretly borrowed for 20 years on our credit card grows every second. It's growing every second. It's literally growing. The debt of New York City grows every split second. We might crack $1 trillion that Bloomberg stole in the next 10 years. Maybe it'll take longer, but this we do know. It'll easily crack $1 trillion. Easily. Unless they can say, well, no, New York City might sink into the ocean. Okay, but that doesn't change the facts. You fucking coward. You fucking cheater. Doesn't change the facts. However, if I say what's accurate, it confuses everybody. If I say these fucking Republicans stole trillions of dollars from New York City, and again, I've only given you 2 examples. The debt. The debt is a big one, but that's not even the whole argument. I can go on and on and on for hours and go into all these different other categories of secret spending, secret borrowing that you don't know about. Example. Bloomberg closed bad schools. Now, nobody thought that was bizarre. The left wing said, yeah, no, it's a bad school, you close it. It's like, wait, the students are doing bad, so you blame the bricks and the windows? Wait. The building didn't do anything wrong. Why are you closing the building down? I was the only reporter who would tell anybody the truth. Because he closes the public school in a public building where it pays no rent. He then opens up a new school, and he can say, it sounds great superficially, I just opened 20 new schools this year. Everyone, the liberals go, yay, he opened 20 new schools. I mean, he's a Republican, 3-time Republican, but it sure sounds awesome. He couldn't be lying. It's 2015, and everyone says the same thing but me. Politicians don't lie. They say politicians don't lie. Hell, you see it? How many people believe everything? Now, I mostly trust Bernie Sanders, but everyone seems to be saying, on both sides, seems to be saying, well, you take people at their word. If a politician says something, why would he ever lie? That's what everyone says. Just like Obama, look, he says he's for change. He says he's for hope. He wouldn't lie, he's a politician. It's 2015 and everyone believes politicians don't lie. That's why I'm stupid for even fighting to try and help you people. There's only one thing that can help your human race. You have to kill yourselves off. You cannot save the species. It has to be removed from the planet like the cancer it is. I'm sorry. I'm actually a people person. But I'm also a mature adult, and I've looked at it every way. And you humans are the root of all evil. The educated people are often even more retarded than the uneducated people. You're all brain dead. Being a genius is like being on fire every minute of every day. And of course, there's no such thing as genius. There's humans who use their brain, whether it's a Tesla or me, and then there's the humans who don't use their brains. You've met them, you probably are one. You use your brain for things like, what should I wear today? What should I eat today? Wow, the brain is an amazing machine. I argue the greatest machine in the universe. So you decided to use that brilliant machine to decide what to eat. Wow! And you wonder why your world is doomed. Maybe that's part of it. The scams they pull on you couldn't be any more obvious, but they never fail to work. Let's get back on track here. Stop digression. Do you understand? Putting the schools. Now Bloomberg would then move. He'd create a new school, But he would leave out little facts like, well, it's no longer in a public building. Now it's in a privately owned building that happens to be owned by one of my real estate developer friends who is rich. Yes, they're paying, yes, the public schools will pay more than market rate, and that landlord will have a secure revenue stream until New York City no longer has children. Have a nice day. And all the reporters hailed him. Not one reporter would tell anyone the truth. But me. So I'm the only reporter they put in Rikers Island and tortured him over and over again. I'm the only reporter that New York Times, New York Post, all of them have ganged up on over and over again. Gothamists. They're the dirtiest criminals in New York City. Gothamist.com. Don't get me started. So every one of these schools that Bloomberg took out of a public building, so it paid no rent, he moved them into not simply a private building for huge rent, but above market rates in perpetuity forever. How much is that going to cost you, motherfuckers? Again, just the debt is only one example of thousands I can give you of the trillions of dollars Rudy Giuliani and Mike Bloomberg stole from the people of New York and the people of this nation. Because a lot of federal money is involved here too. Shall I go on? Or do you still believe all the fucktards over me? Do you now see why none of them will ever debate me? I was banned, when I was on the mayoral ballot as a Democrat, I was banned from all the debates. I was allowed into 2 accidentally. And you can go check. I won both debates easily. I can recreate it tomorrow. I can take a debate. We can do this tomorrow. You can get the 5 smartest people you can find on the planet of Earth versus me. Anytime, any place. Let's do it. There's a lot of people say, you're not the smartest person on Earth. Well, first of all, I am, but secondly, that's not even a boast. The human race is they're a bunch of fucking retards. Everything they know is stupid. Everything they say is stupid. Stupid. You have no idea how stupid you humans are. And don't get me started. I don't want to digress. I'm terrible at focusing on the specific issue at hand. I know too much. That's the problem with being a genius. Every word that comes out of my mouth triggers, oh yeah, I should tell them about these 5,000 scandals. Oh, they would love to hear about these 5,000 scandals. Oh, these 5,000 scandals. Oh! Don't forget, everyone cheered Bloomberg for opening up all kinds of new schools. None of this could be possible without the foot soldiers of the Nazis, journalists. And I say that as a journalist. So I'd say you have to trust me. I don't have a conflict of interest. If I said, no, you should trust journalists, and I am a journalist, there's a conflict of interest. But if I'm a socialist. I am a socialist communist. Nobody denounces government more than me. It's not socialism that's the problem. It's human beings. And it doesn't matter if it's public or private. That's one of the big scams they pull on you guys, and you people believe it. There is no difference between private or public as far as if the people running it are going to be crooked or not. We know if you put somebody in power of a private corporation, they're going to be corrupt. If you put some asshole as president of the United States, he's going to be corrupt. Power corrupts. It doesn't matter whether it's private or public, you fucking idiots. It doesn't fucking matter. If you put humans in charge of it, they're going to fuck it up. You say, no, private sector works better. Really? Private sector does? How many of Big Tobacco's customers did it kill? General Motors just admitted killing 112 of their customers with a faulty ignition system, which they now admit they knew was faulty. The private corporations kill fuckloads of people. The public entities kill fuckloads of people. The problem isn't public or private. The problem is humans. It always comes back to one particular cancerous maggot team. Humans. It always comes back to you shitty humans. Now, on an efficiency scale, socialism wins every time, but we're not going to go into that right now. Obviously, capitalism cannot compete with socialism ethically or economically, right? Here's an example. Fire department, they don't have to, I told you this before, fire department don't have to spend billions on advertising, but the phone companies do. If we socialize the phone company, we just saved you all those billions in advertising, which will go back into your pocket, because that's where all those billions came from. All the billions they spent on advertising came out of your pocket. All the huge CEO salaries of each phone company came out of your pocket. Fire department's only got one CEO, and he only makes 200 and something a year. 200,000 something thousand a year. I'm not sure his exact salary right now. But do you follow me? Okay, people, do I have to keep explaining this to you? Capitalism makes no sense economically. I hear lots of left-wingers go, capitalism is evil. They're talking about ethically. I seem to be the only one who says, excuse me, everybody? It doesn't even make sense economically. You understand? But now, who gets all the advertising when there's competition? When you have two phone companies, or Pepsi and Coke, they have to advertise against each other. Now, that's a whole fucking waste of money. Whole inefficient waste of money. But who gets all that money? That's right. The same media that told you that capitalism works. Ding, 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 ding. Again, this isn't simply evil. All of it is perfectly illegal under current United States laws. And I've talked about that in other videos. Let's get back on track here. So I am fucked. I can't even report shit truthfully because then I have to stop and idiot-proof every sentence I give. All right? So I don't have that kind of time. So I can't say to people, Rudy Giuliani and Bloomberg stole trillions from the city of New York. Because the educated people are going to say, you're fucking an idiot. You don't know your facts. So sometimes I have to fucking write or say, they stole billions. Then people are like, okay, that sounds plausible. I have to give you incorrect information that I have downplayed solely so you idiots can follow along. Oh my God. CIA, please. What do I have to do, CIA? What do I have to do, NSA? You can't get one person to kill me? Just hit me with a car when I'm on a bicycle? Nothing? Please, guys? Please, will you end my suffering? Pretty please. I'm brash everywhere I go. People don't realize one of the reasons I'm so brash is all I need is just one person to get real angry at me and end my pain and suffering. And I've been pissing people off for a very long time. Where the fuck? CIA, what the fuck? Wake up, boys. CIA. Maybe I should start attacking Israel. Just kidding, people. So the moral is, being a genius sucks. But you already knew that. But remember, all of my reports, it's like I gotta fucking downplay the evil of these assholes just so I can communicate with the fucking humans, the humanoids. You want to hear my new plan? It's a secret. Shh. Here's my new secret plan. I'm going to go shower in a few minutes. Fuck you. Here's my new plan. You can't tell anybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to accept Jesus as my Savior. I'm going to accept Jesus as my Savior. Solely so I can sneak into heaven. So once I get in there, behind those pearly gates, those lovely pearly gates, made of pearl, I guess. Maybe they're just painted like pearl. I don't know. The Bible doesn't explain a lot of things. And once I sneak into heaven, I'm gonna fucking break God. I'm gonna break God's nose, and I'm gonna break Jesus. I broke your nose, Jesus. And you know, Lord works in mysterious ways. You made me in your own image. So I guess you have no one to blame for your busted nose, but you fucktards. Am I wrong, God? And meanwhile, what are you gonna do? Send me down to hell? Satan agrees with me. Satan agrees with me that you're fucking fake hypocrite, God. That you're fucking two-faced piece of shit liar who lies always about all subjects, you piece of shit. And Jesus, you're not getting fucking free ride either, you prick. You sound like a nice guy on paper. But, have you ever heard my song? It's sad being this brilliant. All my shit goes to waste. Billions of songs. I can fix anything you can name. Give me Saturday Night Live for a week and watch what I do with Saturday Night Live. I'm going to rewrite the whole fucking show start to finish. And I promise you, challenge Lorne Michaels, I bet you $2,000 I create what almost everyone unanimously says is the greatest Saturday Night Live episode ever. Ideally, I wish simple gigs I'd like. I'd love Hollywood to hire me as a script doctor, right? You got some stupid ass fucking scripts. And I understand your limitations. You think you need a happy ending, blah, blah, blah. Hand me your dumbest scripts and watch what I do in 3 hours. I will turn that dumbass script into a fucking work of art in 3 hours. I've done it before, assholes. So hire me. I'd love to just be a producer. I'm the guy who's going to... Megadeth never made their masterpiece. I'm going to make Megadeth's masterpiece when I produce them. But I'm probably never going to produce them. Hopefully I'm going to kill myself long before that. Metallica. A lot of people think Master Puppets is their masterpiece. I would agree, except Master Puppets ain't quite a masterpiece. It's one of the best metal albums ever made. It's got a lot of great shit about it. But I argue that Metallica can do twice as good. The problem is they gave up after that album. And Justice for All is just a fucking retread. They just started treading water and then gave up. But I can produce Metallica. I'm going to whip their asses into shape. I'm not going to let a single second of fucking garbage fly by. No laziness, no fucking repeating yourselves, assholes. And Metallica would make the greatest fucking album of their lives. I could be like a Brian Eno or Stephen Albini producing you Coldplay. You want some credibility, artistic credibility, Coldplay? Call me. Because I'm going to fucking fix your shit, and everyone who hates your fucking guts is going to say, wow, this is a fucking great album. That's what I do. I'm a tough nugget. I bust balls because I think everything should be better. And I get a lot of flack for that. Be like, oh, you're so mean and nasty. Nope. I just expect more. In fact, you're the nasty motherfucker because you all say that you're a bunch of fucking worthless assholes who can't do better. I actually believe in you assholes more than you assholes believe in you assholes. Because I believe you actually could do better than you are currently doing. Did you ever hear my song? What's it called? Oh, Jesus is a shitty date, parentheses. Jesus is late, in parentheses. And it's about a girl who's waiting for Jesus to show up. They have reservations at a restaurant. And she's waiting for Jesus to show up for 2,000 years. Poor girl. Poor girl. I should just do a video where I just list thousands of my great songs that I've never actually gotten around to recording yet. Because actually the songs I write in Rikers are the best songs I write because I can actually ruminate. Usually when I write a brilliant song, I do it in minutes because I don't got time for this shit. I just crank it out. But the insight is so brilliant and my allergic reactions to cliches make my shit brilliant. Instantly brilliant. I crank the shit out, instantly brilliant. But that shit is just tossed off. My brilliant shit that people think is genius is not really that great. It's tossed off. If you see my stuff that I write in Rikers, it's super brilliant because I have time to actually go, well, I can make that a little bit better. I can make that a little bit better. But I think I've completely digressed now. Let's end this with the point is that at some point you got to learn from the past and say, you know what? I trust CXB. He seems to know what he's talking about. I know he doesn't fucking pander. This is why when I ran for office, everyone said, oh my fucking God, where is the... Audiences of strangers said, where the hell have you been our whole life? You are what all of us have dreamed of in a candidate. Money back guarantee? Holy fuck, you just changed the world forever. If politicians don't get paid unless they do the job, you've just revolutionized Earth with one innovation of millions. And I was going to lead by example. You were going to have a 24-hour tap on my phones, all of them. I would not be allowed for the 4 years I'm mayor to have a private conversation. Not legally allowed. The mayor is your servant. He does whatever the fuck you say. And you have a right to watch him every minute of every day because he's spending a lot of your money. And I said that. And I'm making it against the law. We're going to make it against the law. Any taxpayer can have me arrested if they can catch me in a deception or misleading statement of any kind. No politician is allowed to lie to you under current laws. But you idiots just think they are. They told you they are. So you said, oh, well, they say they're allowed to break the laws. I don't know. Everyone believes it. So, well, the police say they're allowed to break laws, and the politicians say they're allowed to break laws, so it's probably true. It's probably true. None of it's true. And you forget Half the laws in America are not legal. People get confused. They're like, what do you mean? How can a law be not legal? Are you stupid? A law is just something a bunch of assholes in a room say it is. But under the Constitution, millions of American laws have been shot down in flames as unconstitutional. Hell, it happened to me with People v. Gobe in 2014. The highest court in New York said Christopher was right and every judge and prosecutor was wrong. The statute against free speech and whistleblowing was absolutely unconstitutional. Most of your laws aren't legal, people. The problem isn't that they're clever. The problem is that you're really fucking lazy in the brain and lazy in the heart and lazy in the limbs. So, again, the choice is yours. You could have a paradise, not a paradise. Obviously, if we got rid of all the artificial problems in the world, there'd still be a lot of problems because human beings are fucking super flawed machines. But I have the answers. I can solve at least 80% of human problems in 3 weeks. You can't name one that I can't. Again, look at my 100 innovations for New York City. It's like 100 innovations at Blogspot or something. Doesn't have. I didn't create it, so it doesn't have a catchy title or URL. 100 innovations for New York City. I should post links here, but I'm a little fucking busy, and I shouldn't even be making these videos, but I'm really still a fucking idiot trying to fucking educate the human race. This is why I gotta smoke more pot or drink more booze to shrink this fucking savage beast. This tyranny, this tyrant in my head with its tyranny. Have you ever heard my song, My Dick is a Nigger? Oh, controversial. No, it isn't. We always like to say that we are slaves to our dick. Men are slaves to their dick, but I realized, again, the human race has it perfectly incorrect. The poor dick is a slave to our brains. Poor dick. Poor dick just wants to be left alone. Sometimes it wants a little loving. But it's a slave to this fucking monstrosity here. This is the real sex organ, obviously. So I, again, came up with a very catchy title. It's a little controversial, but My Dick is a Nigger. No one can say, you can't use the word nigger. Oh, yes, I can. First of all, if it's in the English language, I can use it, asshole. But I understand you're a right-wing bigot. No, I'm not. I'm a left-wing bigot. I'm a left-winger, not a bigot. Yes, you are. Anybody who regulates speech is a fucking scumbag. I don't care if you're a left-wing or right-wing. If you regulate speech, you're a fucking scumbag. If you tell me what I can and can't say, if it's true, right? To this day, Elvis Costello sings on the radio, one less white nigger. John Lennon still has a song called Woman is the Nigger of the World. I think they even use that N-word in fucking some of Mel Brooks' movies that are still aired today. Do not tell me. I have a song called I Am the Super Nigger. I am the biggest nigger in mankind's history. We all know what the word means. At first, like Nazi, it meant very specific thing. But then it became bigger. And Nazi now means not just a guy who's actually in the Nazi party. It means more things than that. Nigger used to mean a derogatory term for black people. But now it means a lot more than that. It means anyone who's a minority to some extent. Anyone who's discriminated against. Anyone who's treated less or second class. So fuck you. You stupid assholes who try to judge me based on your ignorant bigotry. Fuck you. Over and out. Please kill me. I don't even know how to turn this shit off because Apple computers are garbage. They made... This is what an intelligent person does. You make the space bar. So I just hit the space bar and... But Apple's like, well, that would be easy. Why don't we make it a tiny little pinpoint you have to hit to turn off the video? Wouldn't that make more sense? And all of them, the brass and everyone said, that's brilliant! Make it difficult to stop a video. Because even if I quickly touch the touchpad, well, half the time you're going to slide past that tiny little pinpoint. You see? Fucking retards. That's why everyone, left and right, both said, well, the one thing you can say about Apple is they're geniuses. Design geniuses. And I'm the only one out there in the wilderness going, so you're arguing that turning off videos using a pinpoint versus the space bar Or it could be just touching the whole trackpad, but trackpad's this big. But they made it that you want to turn it off, you got to hit this big a spot on your touchpad, your trackpad. Clever. Not. Stop believing what other humans tell you. They're all stupid. Even the smart ones are stupid as fuck. Thank you for your consideration and understanding.